Mirta, as much as any student, has really used story not just to create an opportunity for herself in college admissions, but she has also used story to teach counselors in South Texas, to teach students in South Texas about how they can value their own experiences. And so Mirta tells her story about going to Utah every summer, and she's used that story for so many different purposes.
EdCouch, Texas is the only place I can truly call home. But as a migrant, it is not the only place I live in. Every year, as school comes to an end and the heat begins to burn, my family packs our bags and boards up our house to migrate to Corinne, Utah. It would be nice to say that leaving gets easier every year, but I cannot. It has gotten tougher every year. I can't say goodbye to my friends because I'm not really leaving. And I can't get sad because I know that I'll be back. Sometimes the only thing you can do is close your eyes for 5 minutes, because that is how long it takes to leave EdCouchElsa. Then, when I open my eyes, all I can do is hope that 3 months of upcoming labor will speed by.
Returning to the Coliseum today after 5 years in retirement, Caesar is pleased to bring you the only undefeated champion in Roman history, the legendary
The Camino gives one time to reflect about good things and bad. There are hours that won't pass mindlessly because in total, the whole trip takes about 48 hours. Some are spent sleeping and others are spent gazing towards the side of the roads that lead us to our final summer destination. These roads lead us through the small towns and large cities of a few states, where the people who inhabit them do not even realize that we have come and gone. We are passers-by. The road is the only place that I know, and that is alright. Because once you know the road, you don't need to know anything else. This path, this trail that has become engraved in my mind, is mine. I own it. I am surrounded by everything that is unknown to me, but not unfamiliar. My family and I travel in our van at an average speed of 65 miles per hour or so. In the arid desert of New Mexico, as we race to beat the sun, the hours are all alike. We spend time in a daze under the control of the heat. In Colorado, where the land is actually green, the hours are carried away in the crisp, cool wind that runs through my extended fingers. As all this happens, I just sit back and let it happen because I know that if I try to experience it, the wholeness of the journey will never reach me.
Pero este está bueno, ¿no? Nomás le pidamos 2 camas.
person giving up a great deal of size and pitch. Well, that's going to be one hell of an equalizer because Kane is 6'10", 326 pounds.
parents crossed to be now where they are. I'm going to Iceland, where I wanna be. I'm going to Iceland. All boys, Chicanos, Latinas, we're going to Iceland. My traveling companions, La Virgen, Miss Liberty, a map and my metropoles. Well, I've reason to believe we all have been deceived. There still is Iceland.
My whole family lives in this house. There's my grandma and my grandpa. My tias, my godmother, my godfather, my cousins.
We've got a pretty big house. I don't know, the house always made it special for me. I mean, just because we've got a cellar and, I mean, the big trees and the big yard. And there's so much room for exploring and the imagination, you know?
Call Christina! Call Christina! Let's go get Christina!
There was a time when there was, I think we were all under the age of 10, and there was at least 10 or 15 kids running around doing crazy things. So, I mean, it's green all over the place, so that means there's lots of grass, lots of parks. You don't get stickers on your feet, so you can run around barefoot. It was just more fun when I was younger, just because I think of Utah now, and I'm thinking I'm going to go work and going to get tired and, you know, just going to start itching. I can honestly say that up until my 12th year of life, I did not know what work was. Then, one morning, before the sun rose, my mother shook me out of bed and told me to get up. It was time to work. I did not take that moment seriously, because it was summer and I was still 12. No one under 20 woke up before the sun, especially when you did not have school. Who was I to break this unspoken rule? Unfortunately, that thought did not pass through my parents' mind. That moment initiated my new stage of life as a worker. I was to rise at the same time as the adults and to do the same work as the adults. Therefore, at 12 years old, my summer days were going to be spent in the fields. We started by thinning peaches, the job that I came to detest with all of my heart. We rose at 5 in the morning to make the day shorter and cooler, and terminated each day at around 3. This cycle continued for the first month, and then we proceeded with the picking of raspberries, cherries, and blackberries. While other kids were at home watching TV and going swimming, I was beneath the sun in my peach tree, wearing my long-sleeved shirts. I did not complain as I worked because I understood that this is what my parents needed me to accept. If I complained, I would only make myself look foolish because every other person there was not complaining. Therefore, every morning as I rose, my heart sank, as I longed to make the sun disappear or the clouds pour their rain. My 12th summer of life was spent in confusion and denial.
We're selling water for free. Right, Jesse? Right? Great. The 10th one to come, they'll have water in this. Who wants some water? Who wants some water? Free water. We need 4 more customers. 4 more.
I mean, I have my family there, and so I get to see them all the time. But I mean, I realize that people who don't work together, or families that don't work together, don't have that time, and so I feel like I'm at an advantage, you know, just because I get to work with my family or see them all the time. It makes you feel good, just because you're going up there. You're gonna work. You're gonna help out the family. I mean, and well, now that I have my sister who's working, it's a lot more fun. I mean, used to be just the adults, so now my sister's working with me, so we play around once in a while, you know, we play little games with the peaches or the raspberries. People get bored of just working, so they talk while they work, and I mean, you get to know your family members, and well, you're there with them for 6-7 hours, sometimes 8, so you talk to them for a long time. I mean, it's still fun. It's just, you've got to turn it into fun, otherwise you'll be bored and itchy.
What does he?
When I was young, I didn't mind, but when I got older, just getting up, leaving, and trying to adjust. But I mean, there was always the family there, and so everything was pretty positive. Just sometimes the change kind of threw me off, and the working was not that much fun. But I mean, I grew into it, and it turned out all right, so it's okay.
I'm now 18, and I've gone back to Utah as a worker for the last 5 summers. As each summer passed, I learned new things that I know other people will take a lifetime to learn. I experienced life with a new perspective, and I found myself being thankful to my parents for teaching me what hard work is.
Probably one of the few girls that has ever lettered in 5 varsity sports at one time.
The opportunities that this type of work offers are overshadowed by society's stereotype of migrant farm workers. Positive effects are blurred by the negative statistics and other data that researchers, the media, and others collect. My summers spent in and with the land have educated me. I still deplore thinning peaches, but I have an understanding of life and nature that makes my heart race. Every day that I begin before the sun is to my benefit. I have been afforded the opportunity to learn from an unbiased instructor. With this teacher, I have become a better student, not only of school, but also of life.
That, Raul, was the essay that Mirta wrote to get into Brown University. And by the way, she wrote it as part of a class assignment for her history class, and she cranked it out in about 25 minutes. Teachers, as traditional teachers, we would not have a lot of these kind of stories to tell. We wouldn't have been looking for these stories as traditional teachers, because traditional teachers do not. Traditional teaching does not. There's nothing in the curriculum there necessarily that encourages or inspires us. ¿Verdad? ¿Me entiendes? So that Jose being able to articulate that story would maybe not have manifested itself without the kind of, space that was created so that he could tell those stories.
If I wouldn't have been deeply influenced by people like yourselves, I think that I would have ended up writing about some other thing which would most unlikely not gotten me a good chance of getting in here. I don't think that if I wouldn't have been around you all, I would have gotten a really good chance of just applying here. Or one, I wouldn't have applied at all.
133rd and Broadway?
Huh? Robert! Be on TV.
Why did he label it? The bombs. The bombs. The bombs.
The bomb!
The bombs.
When Julie introduced me and she says EdCouchElsa one of the most impoverished, I'm saying, I thought it was one of the richest. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was one of the richest places until people from outside, you know, kind of shove all these pitiful indicators and said, no, hombre, están bien pobres, no hablan inglés, y todos están en esto o lo otro, and I'm saying, what? I'm saying, you mean to tell me that we cannot dream and we cannot overcome and we cannot be the best anywhere? You better not be telling me that. You know, and all these people who say, toda la gente allá en el Caucho, toda la gente en Rio Grande, toda la gente in Brownsville or wherever, they're so poor. And say, man, you know, turn that on its head and you will see the tremendous richness in the people there. And you know what, if we didn't think that way, we would not have placed 70 kids in the Ivy Leagues in the last 7 or 8 years. 42 of them have gone. See, to me and to my students and to a lot of their parents, it's about having the permission and exercising the permission to dream. To dream.